Okay. Hi there. I see Anti-Apocalypse is here. Hi there. We'll wait a few more minutes. Looks like Negs is still doing a stream at this time. And we share pretty much the same audience. So we'll see if any stragglers will come in. So we'll give it a few minutes and see what's happening. Can you hear me? 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 Okay. All right. Sorry for the delay. I apologize. This computer is going to be the death of me, I swear. So welcome to tonight's public stream, but members only chat. And yesterday, and as we all know, including myself, hey, Green Gypsy Bird, good to see you. Yes, so we're going to put out the, hey, Michelle. Okay. So like I mentioned, Negs, I believe, is still going on with his stream. We share the same audience. It's the name of the game. But we hope some stragglers will drop through. Okay, so let's start with the Mad Hatters. Green Gypsy Bird, welcome to the Mad Hatter. She is our latest channel member. Okay, so for those who wish to interact with the chat tonight or take out a channel membership, you may do so by clicking the join button or clicking the super chat button and selecting the join option. For $1.99 per month, you get some cool hat emojis, yay. And you get early access to many of my uploads, unless it's something that's like really breaking news. But usually, yeah, early access, ad-free access to uploaded videos, as well as once a week we have these public streams, but members only chat. Only members and moderators can chat. And tonight is one such stream. Okay. So, yeah, as I mentioned, we are going to be reacting to another video. I mean, we all know that Abbey Sharp, I don't think she anticipated so many would do reaction videos. And there would be so much drama over just simply doing a food review of a YouTuber from the point of view of a dietitian, not a drama channel, but I guess everybody becomes a drama channel if you talk about Amberlynn. I'm sure Abbey Sharp has learned that lesson now. But yesterday, Amberlynn Reid herself did her own reaction to Abbey Sharp's food review of food review. Which is fine. I mean, after all, Abbey Sharp was talking about Amberlynn and her food. If anyone has the right to react to that video more than anyone else, probably, including yours truly, it would be Amberlynn. Yes, so let's address the chat. So we've got Green Gypsy Bird, Michelle, and Anti-Apocalypse. Cool. Okay. So we've got that. Hey, Green Gypsy. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear me. Good. Sup, Michelle, I'm under the weather tonight, so you're in charge of keeping Fedora on the straight and narrow. Auntie, oh no, I can't stay here long. So if she's back in Twatter jail, it's our fault. Oh, damn it. Well, like this stream, like all my streams, will be remaining up. They'll all be remaining up to watch in the replay. Everyone I watched gave Abby's video positive reviews. Had some minor quibbles at most. Can't speak for other people who make a habit of nitpicking for the purposes of the calumny. Yeah, this is true. The calumny. That's a new word we're learning tonight. Well, I mean, we did watch Jasmine, the reruns, go off, she blows. I said, well, why didn't you turn it into, why didn't you talk about the drama? Why didn't you talk about the drama? I mean, please. Abbey Sharp is not a drama channel. Oh, but you love to try to turn her. And this, like I said, the same thing happened to Goji Man last year. So, yeah. And I did a retro react of that when Peanut was live with me a few weeks ago. Calamity. So anyways, let's open with while Michelle is here, we are going to open with the e-bagging portion of the show. Oh, but you love to try to turn. Oh boy. So we're going to open with the e-bagging portion. Like I said, you can support the channel by joining. How many? You can support the channel by joining the channel, and you can interact with the chat. Or one-time donations you can give to PayPal. Rest assured, I will always keep your information confidential, and yeah, I will always keep your information confidential. Yes. And check out my merch as well. Check out my merch. Thank you. And we have a Discord server of which Michelle is a member. I've got awesome people. We're going to be a year old tomorrow. Yes, our Discord server is going to be a year old tomorrow. And yeah, I'm proud of that. And so you must be 18 and up to join. And we have rooms to suit all tastes. And I'm proud to say we're pretty drama-free in there. Thanks so much, Michelle. So, is anyone here else hearing what? Anti-apocalypse. Oh, my phone just spurred. Oh, God. Well, we're going to turn the volume down on the phone because we're not going to pay attention to that. Okay. All right. Hang on. We'll just bury it somewhere. My desk is a mess. Oh, okay. Michelle's not hearing anything. Okay. Yeah, my phone just gave me an alert. It does that. No, not here. Not from here. I'm not hearing any Hollywood Western style instrumental, not even from the next door neighbors. So anyways, like I said, Amberlynn Reid herself finally reacted to the video that Abbey Sharp did of her, and we're going to check it out. It is a long video, so we're likely not going to watch all of it. I did put some notes in for myself because we know my memory is crap. So anyways, let's get to it. We'll get through as much as we can, or as much as humanly possible. Okay? So without further ado, yes. Without further ado. Okay. The video is called "This Is Hard to Admit," reaction to Abbey Sharp. Okay. There we go. All right. So ready, steady, go. I already got rid of the first ads. So at least some of the ads are gone. Okay. Here we go.
So I have been told by several people to react.
I'm going to speed it up a bit.
I'm not a reaction channel, so that's why it looks like this. It is bad quality, etc., etc.
Let me know if it's too fast for you. I just sped it up slightly to 1.25 speed. We're going to try it out.
But this video isn't really about, my face or anything like that. It does look kind of pixelated, I feel like, but it's more so about.
It's okay, Amber.
Abbey Sharp. I have to say,
okay.
I've actually never watched any of her videos before. I really want to give this a chance. I get nervous, reacting to people when it comes to me because they're very biased based on opinions they've heard about me and such. So I'm a little nervous going into this. It's titled Dietitian's Thoughts.
This is true. This is true. And I have found this because of this bias. There is the one thing that has always struck me, and even long before I uploaded videos, even on a regular basis, even under my old branding, I had found there was, the bias is so strong that the lack of critical thinking, many seemingly intelligent individuals otherwise, but the lack of critical thinking.
On Amberlynn Reid's diet and mukbangs, this might be hard to watch, but let's get into it.
Oh, this one's gonna be hard to watch.
Oof.
Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp and welcome to Abby's Kitchen.
Hello.
In today's highly requested video,
Amber.
we will be reviewing Amberlynn Reid. Now, I've received so many requests from you guys to review Amberlynn since I began.
Okay, we're going to get rid of the preamble and go to, okay, we're going to get rid of the preamble because we've already been through the intro. And here we go. Okay.
I'm going to be eating the food anyway. I can sit down, you know, make my video, which is my job, get my income. I can just, you know, enjoy my meal with you guys. So it's like mukbangs are just so easy to do. And I think that's why I got caught up in it for so long. And I still really do like mukbangs. It's just me being honest.
It's quick to point out some of the contradictions.
At least she's admitting it, you know. I mean, yeah, admittedly, mukbangs are the easiest way to go, and yet they attract the most audience. Some of them have become millionaires. I mean, Nikocado Avocado being the most obvious. But what about Zach Choi ASMR? Yes, the production value is quite high for Zach Choi ASMR's channel. But the dude doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. He just eats, and we hear a lot of noise, like the eating sounds, or if he's cooking. If he's cooking, we hear the, you know, the sounds of the knives and chopping stuff and sizzling and all that. He pours his Sprite or whatever he's drinking. We hear the effervescence, the bubbles of the drink, you know, but even his tagline is silence is golden. You know, I mean, get yourself the right equipment. If you are able to save money, get yourself the right set of equipment, you can sit there and eat a meal and not say a damn word, you know. So, yeah, she's right there. It is easy content. Arguably, it's lazy content. But because nowadays mukbang channels are a dime a dozen, you kind of have to set yourself apart. I mean, the latest one, Mukbang Mermaid, which Nova Ray and I reacted to at the beginning of this month around. Yeah, Mukbang Mermaid, which was a totally silly act. But, you know, I wish Mukbang Mermaid luck. You know, they don't seem to be bad people over there. They're just trying to have a good time, and I'm all for that. You know, I mean, we saw Chantal with the green screens and the themed mukbangs, like eating like the 1920s, eating like the 1980s, etc. And Nikocado, well, what can we say? Nowadays, it's trolling his relationship. What can I say? You know, so she's right on that. The mukbang, you know, for her, they would bring in money. Let me see what the chat is saying. Hang on, give me a minute. It's too slow, Michelle. You have to speed it up to the way, speed up the way she talks. It's too slow. I have misophonia. I can't stand eating sounds. A lot of people are like that, Anti-Apocalypse. Also, you couldn't pay me enough to eat myself sick on YouTube the way many who do the gorging mukbangs do. Nah, me either. I'm with you there, Anti-Apocalypse. Okay, I'm back. I have a weird rash. Oh, I'm sorry to hear, Green Gypsy. Green Gypsy, I'm sorry to hear. I assume you're dying according to Dr. Google. Oh, no, I'm sorry you're going through this, but I think you'll be okay. I don't know. I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. GGB, Dr. Google is not reliable. No, that's true, Michelle. It really isn't. The speed is good now. Okay. And Michelle says she wants me to speed it up. Let's try. Okay, let's try 1.5. Let me know if it's too fast. Oh, no, it was at normal. Oh, God, why? It's this damn computer. Okay, we're at 1.25 now. No, that's me. What am I? Oh, head, screw yourself on straight. All right. Yeah, this is on 1.25. We'll try it at 1.5. Let me know if it's too fast.
Someone in a larger body seeking weight loss who is simultaneously participating in a trend that encourages eating large volumes of food in one sitting.
Okay, so when I make my mukbangs, I don't purposely like eat a lot of food. When I do mukbangs, that is literally the meal that I would be eating. I have never binged in a mukbang before. I think one of the first mukbangs I ever made, which was 2015, 2016, I did eat more than I wanted to because I thought that was like the point of a mukbang. But ever since that point, that was strictly just me eating what I would have even off camera. I've never purposely been like, oh my God, I need to like get a lot of food and like make this seem super extra. Like even when I did the rotisserie chicken video, if you actually watch it straight through, I ate pretty much a normal portion of it. I just wanted to seem really extra with like the actual.
If I recall that rotisserie chicken video, she was eating nothing else with it, and I think she was eating nothing else with it. And I don't know about rotisserie chickens in American grocery stores, but here in Montreal, whether you go to a Metro or IGA or Costco for a rotisserie chicken, the birds are awfully scrawny, okay? And it's mostly skin, okay? It's mostly skin, bones, and crap. That's why, and I think there have been reports saying, don't eat rotisserie chickens, don't eat them, might as well cook a whole chicken on your own. But yeah, so I don't know how much of that chicken she ate, but there were no side dishes. It was the same thing. They called it shrimp gate. She had a shrimp ring. And in all honesty, again, if I recall, she had no side dishes with it. There was nothing. There was just the shrimp ring. Now, there was a time I was pescatarian. I was still eating shrimp. I was able to polish off a ring of shrimp. If I was not eating anything else with it, I was able to polish off the entire ring, and I'd be hungry 2 hours later. So, I mean, would I recommend eating a whole ring of shrimp? Absolutely not. Not just because I'm vegan, but because shrimp is high in fat, high in cholesterol, and that's pretty much another reason why I would not recommend it. Let's see what you are all saying. Oh, it's dry skin? Okay. I was correcting my sentence. GGB, I hate getting dry skin because the winter is so annoying. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you there, Michelle. I'm with you there. All right, let's go. Green Gypsy Bird, I recently had a bruise on my chest I didn't remember getting. I ran a search and it instantly went to breast cancer. Oh, wow. Pretty sure I bounced a dumbbell off my chest by accident. Oh, dear. No, because you would potentially crack your ribs, Anti-Apocalypse. Oh, dear. Okay. Oh, dear. Yeah, you would potentially crack your ribs, and I guarantee would be painful. Yeah.
Big rotisserie chicken. I noticed with a lot of other mukbangers, they eat so much food. Like, just because they're skinny doesn't mean that's healthy. But I've never went out of my way to do that.
So this begs the question, are mukbangs okay, acceptable, and fun to watch when the YouTuber is generally thin, healthy, or fit? And are they otherwise disturbing and problematic when the mukbanger's nutritional health is already in question?
I feel like I've paused it so much. Sorry, I will let her talk, I promise. I just I have so much to say. Her mentioning that reminds me.
It's okay. It's okay. I do the same thing.
There is a mukbanger who clearly has an eating disorder. They have talked about it before. They talk about how they binge eat. They talk about how they have binge eating disorder. But people still love them because they're skinny. They still allow it because they're skinny. But it's like, this person is binging on camera. But it's like, okay. But then when I have a healthy meal, because I have done healthy mukbangs before, people are irate. So it's it's a little confusing. It really is.
We're going to guide it.
I would take one example. I don't know who she's talking about. She did not mention names. But I'm going to mention Veronica Wang. If anybody's familiar with her, the mukbanger, she's also a fellow Canadian, like Michelle and I are. She doesn't go on every day. To her credit, she doesn't go on every day. And I doubt she eats the way she does on camera in her real life. But she is skinny, and I remember Swole Normus doing a video about her, actually. Thinking because Veronica Wang has what is called sex appeal, I guess. Swole Normus kind of alluded to that, and therefore kind of made the eating fast food in the car sexy. And I suppose arguably, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some can see that. I mean, they see her, in her car in a tight t-shirt and her pink hair and, and yeah, let's see what you're all saying. Let's see what you're all saying. Whenever she eats a lot of food, she doesn't eat a lot of it. The portions are obvious. Are you referring to Veronica Wang or Amber? Veronica Wang, I have seen polish off, she orders half the menu from Jollibee's or Harvey's. Harvey's is a Canadian burger chain, for those who don't know. I don't believe there's Harvey's in the United States. And plus Jollibee just opened in Toronto, I believe. It's sort of Filipino inspired. I don't believe that's actually Filipino food. Anyways, I've seen Veronica Wang in one sitting polish off everything she eats. Oh yeah, she can pack it down. That's why I don't want to Google symptoms. Yeah, I understand why you wouldn't want to Google symptoms, Michelle. I understand totally. It's so weird when people complain about the reactors talking a lot. It's meant to be a reaction, not just to sit and stare at the screenshot. Exactly, and that's not how I do a reaction. Just sit there and scowl and smile, give a little giggle here and there, you know. I'm even when Belinda and we were having fun the other night reacting to Clara and Charlie Gold in their stream. You know, I mean, it wasn't all that deep, but we certainly had a lot to say, you know, about it. A jab at a certain person. LOL. Indeed, Michelle. Well, I know people say that about Charlie, but I find it generally true when people don't have much to say. What's the point? I was talking about Amberlynn. Other mukbangers have other tricks. This is true. I've heard that too before, Auntie. Auntie agreed. You are supposed to comment on it. It's called commentary for a reason. Exactly, Michelle. And I like to brand myself as a commentary channel. Although these days, lately, I gotta branch out. It's just that nobody else is. Anyways.
Getting deeper into these questions later on in the video, so definitely be sure to stick around for that. Now, with all that said, many of Amberlynn's viewers have repeatedly expressed concern about her size and the implications that this may have on her health and well-being. Now, I can understand this concern, as we do know that obesity, specifically higher amounts of body fat, may put one at a greater risk of a number of chronic diseases, including cancer. Unfortunately, Amberlynn did recently share that she was diagnosed with stage 1 endometrial cancer, which is a cancer in the lining of the uterus. Now, I will say that there are a number of risk factors for endometrial cancers, including age, genetics, and use of certain forms of contraceptives. But research does suggest that obese and overweight women with higher amounts of body fat are 2 to 4 times more likely to develop endometrial cancer, and extremely obese women are about 7 times more likely. One explanation for this.
Yes, it's like, I know it's my fault, and it's hard.
Yeah, I know, I'm Chic.
Because it's like, I could have prevented this, and it's sad to note that food completely has ruined my life, and it's scary and it's dangerous, and the feeling of it is unbelievably overwhelming. And
here's the thing. For many of these people, I'm sure many of you who are watching Watch My 600-Pound Life or 1 Ton Family, or even the Slayton sisters doing 1,000-Pound Sisters, most of them will realize to varying degrees that food basically ruined their lives. You know, it made them shut-ins, it gave them all these health issues. But it's an addiction or an ED, you know, like anorexia or bulimia. And even in ED, as I've mentioned several times, a lot of it mimics addiction. Like as an addiction with drugs, alcohol, even gambling to some degree. You know, I didn't look at the chat replay because honestly, you would need a hazmat suit. I heard this from someone. It's not from me. But yeah, you'd need a hazmat suit. I can't read the comments on any comments on Amberlynn's videos. Why? Because they make me very, very mad. I just want to punch. I just want to break things and punch holes through walls. And we don't really want that. So we don't really want that. No. So I didn't read that, but I heard that the comments were pretty nasty. Let's see what's going on. Okay. You are supposed to comment. It's called commentary for a reason. Veronica Wang is Canadian. I didn't know that. Yeah, she's in Toronto. She's from Toronto, Michelle. Yeah. Anti-Apocalypse. I went to the girl doc a few weeks ago, and she did a breast exam. She said either I have the biggest lump she's ever seen, or I've been working chest more. Well, let's hope it's the latter for you, Green Gypsy Bird. I hope that's the latter for you. Some people are just built differently, though, you know? Some people are just built differently. And it's nothing more than that. This was sad. I hate how people use the fact that her cancer didn't cure her eating disorder to punish Amberlynn and to use it as a rhetorical ammunition against her. Surprise, cancer isn't a cure for EDs. No, it isn't. And you know what? It's the same thing. I mean, we've seen people with heart disease, with COPD, or even lung cancer, or some other heart or lung disease, and they still smoke. They're still smoking cigarettes. And so that's, that's something to think about. We see people, with cirrhosis of the liver. They may even have liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, diabetes. Not supposed to drink, but guess what? They still drink, Oh, okay. Okay, cool, green gypsy bird. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, yeah, so that's how that goes. All right, let's go on.
I regret so much. I really, truly do. And it is hard. It is so hard to have this food addiction and this binge disorder. It's just so hard. And it gave me cancer. Like, that's crazy.
Excess fat tissue produces higher amounts of estrogen, which has been associated with not only endometrial cancer, but also breast and ovarian cancers. Another possible explanation is that individuals with higher body fat often have increased blood levels of insulin and insulin-like growth factor 1, which may promote the development of some cancers, including endometrial cancer. But of course, I'm not an oncologist, nor am I part of Amberlynn's healthcare team. So obviously, I cannot speak to the root cause of Amberlynn's diagnosis. But what we can say, just by looking at the research, is that there may be an association between higher body fat and the development of some cancers.
Oh, that's fair.
Now, with that said, since sharing her diagnosis, Amberlynn has also had a hysterectomy to surgically remove the uterus. So I do want to...
I got a full hysterectomy, so they removed... So crazy, oh my god. To think that food made it to where I can't even have a child. I didn't know she was going to bring up my cancer. I didn't. Like, it's okay, obviously, but, like, they removed uterus, tubes, ovaries, all of it. So.
Well, to be fair, Abbey Sharp, as a reminder, is not a drama channel. She is a dietitian. That means she is in the healthcare profession. So to be fair, in order to do a review of Amberlynn's food, she would have to at least gloss over the cancer. Let me see what you think about that in the chat, if you agree with what I just said. Yeah, if illness cured people's addiction, we would have a lot more healthy people. Exactly, Green Gypsy Bird. You know what I mean? Let me know in the chat what you think. I know there's not too many of you. But there's not too many of you, but let me know what you think. I think, yeah, yeah. Gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, certain people have chosen to reframe the fact that cancer isn't a cure for a severe psychological disorder, or to rhetorically rage bait the intractable rabble they hold court over. Exactly, anti-apocalypse, exactly. Exactly. You're not going to cure addiction. Like I said, it goes back, it's not just food. Like I said, there are people with liver disease or liver failure, and they're drinking themselves to death. They're still drinking. People with lung cancer, people with COPD, heart disease, they're still smoking. They're still smoking. I'll never have that issue. My chest is the weakest point. Okay. But yeah, but for, to be fair, Abbey Sharp, to do such a video, she would have to at least talk briefly about her cancer. Just to be fair.
Which for a full and safe recovery and remission from her surgery and condition. Now, moving on to her diet, I do want to start by acknowledging that Amberlynn has shared that she suffers from binge eating disorder and overeating. As usual, it is not my place to speculate about whether or not this is true. And like I said, I'm not here to diagnose or apologize to Amberlynn. But rather, the purpose of this video is to review the content on...
I feel like I appreciate her because, like, she's an actual dietitian and she still doesn't, like, want to say, oh, yes, this is binge eating, or yes, like, you overeat way too much. Like, and it's just so crazy to me to think, like, so many people in my comment section.
Well, to be fair, she knows she has a responsibility to maintain her license. Abbey Sharp, at the same time, has to tread lightly. She cannot diagnose Amberlynn Reid because she's never talked to her. She's never met her. And I doubt she's even read her medical file, okay? Yes, there are forensic psychiatrists, forensic psychologists who make diagnoses based just solely on the reading of a patient file for court. But in this case, this is a YouTube video. It's for educational and entertainment purposes, what Abbey Sharp is doing. But she can't give her a diagnosis. So you got to be fair.
Diagnose me or undiagnose me all the time, and they have like no right to do it. But she's like respecting me and doing it the right way and really just being like unbiased about the whole situation.
Well, that's what the responsible thing to do. Now, as for Amberlynn's comment section or the Hater Nation, all of a sudden they're doctors, nurses, dietitians, all of them. Wow, you play a dietitian on YouTube. Wow. Okay. You know, they're therapists. They're all of a sudden they adapt these new professions, and the concern trolling is relentless. And clearly they have no understanding of what this is. Even Amberlynn sitting down to a meal, she says that she would have eaten anyway. Why not eat it on camera? Okay, that's one way to look at it. Do I agree with it or not? Not for me to say, honestly. But here we go.
At face value in a compassionate and educational format, so as to discuss some reoccurring themes like dieting and emotional eating. With that said, I really can't confirm whether or not Amberlynn's What I Eat in a Day videos are an accurate representation of what she actually consumes in a day.
Every time I have ever made a What I Ate Today video, it has always been 100% truth, whether it was a healthy one, like hi, I'm on track, or whether it was a hi, this is like exactly how I eat when I'm overeating. I've never done false ones. They've all been true and accurate.
But we will talk more about binge eating disorder and dieting later on. For now, I do want to take a brief look at what Amberlynn's typical day of eating might look like at the time of filming this video, which, by the way, is subject to change by the time that it's live. Let's start with her breakfast, and a quick trigger warning. I'm going to be giving some suggestions on how to help optimize satiety for Amberlynn's weight loss goals. So if this is triggering for you, of course, feel free to skip this section of this video. So for breakfast on day one, we've got
Okay, so they're going to be talking about food shortly. All right. Okay. Amber does so much problematic things. They don't have to harp on the food or her being fat, but they do just that, you know, Green Gypsy Bird, you know. They do just that. Yeah, I don't blame Abby for raising the point. She's not using it as a crude bludgeon. It's being used properly. Agreed, Anti-Apocalypse. She's speaking as a professional. And I think, you know, if she were talking to a patient or a client behind closed doors in private, and if the patient had cancer or diabetes, or you better believe that the dietitian would be talking about it, you know. Like, for example, me, okay, a nurse specializing in diabetes. I was just recently diagnosed with diabetes, and I had the specialized nurse call me today to give me tips and everything, because my doctor wants to see in 2 months if this can be reversed naturally, because the sugar levels for me are low enough that it might be able to be reversed naturally if I do everything the nurse tells me. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, they're going to mention, you know, your other conditions. The nurse mentioned my other health conditions as well. You know, you have to, you know, the professional has to have an overview, you know, of the thing. And Abby doesn't care about her drama. She only talks about food. Jasmine, the rerun, just needed something to complain about. Exactly, Gypsy Bird. Exactly. Exactly. Do you watch Dr. Grande? Sometimes. I know Dr. Grande. He does have a YouTube channel. He's a psychologist. He is a psychologist. I believe he's also a professor of psychology as well. I would love for him to do a video on the psychology of Amberlynn. He's done Nikocado, Trisha, one of the Paul brothers. You know what? I think Dr. Grande might hesitate about doing Amberlynn. If he saw all the comments in Abbey Sharp's video over at her channel, Abby's Kitchen, if he saw all the comments and all the reaction videos, I have a feeling Dr. Grande might think twice, because, you know, I mean, if Abbey Sharp didn't want drama, or she hoped she wouldn't expect drama, Dr. Todd Grande is going to see the drama from 10 miles away, especially if he did see Abbey Sharp's video. So I wouldn't count on Dr. Todd Grande doing a video about Amberlynn. I just don't see that happening. I just recently watched my first few handful of his videos. I like the dry humor. Yeah, he's a bit of a dry personality, I'll tell you that. But he is coming, when he's talking on his channel, he is coming at this with his professional expertise. So he's trying to be more information about putting the information out there to be more educational than entertaining. Some can do both. I mean, Abbey Sharp dabbles in a bit of both. But Dr. Grande, not so much. He's going at it from a purely scientific point of view. And people go to him for that. But if you're looking for entertainment, well, no, you're going to be fresh out of luck. Now, Amber, we know you're trolling when you eat on camera. It gets views. Stop acting innocent. Yeah, she knows it gets her views. She's admitted as much. She's admitted as much, Gypsy. But I think every mukbanger knows. I think this is something every mukbanger knows. You know what I mean? Let's go on.
Smoothie with Greek yogurt, some frozen berry.
Oh my god, when did she film this? Because I was living in my old home. It's so weird to see this. But this is when I was on track. I do remember this because if you see me have a smoothie in the morning, especially if I'm making it, then that means, okay, Amberlynn's trying her thing, trying to eat better.
And some spinach. On day 2 is a bagel with some chicken breast, cream cheese,
Love
and
that
some Cheetos. And on day 3 it's some pasta with onion, tomato,
That was
corn,
bomb.
pesto, butter, and some spices.
It doesn't look bomb to me. I'm not going to repeat because I talked about it when I reacted to Obese to Beast. But I'll just leave 2 words. Hospital food.
Sparkling lemonade. So Amberlynn has previously said that she doesn't usually consume stereotypical breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals.
Nope.
Instead, she would usually just eat whatever she feels like in the moment. Great. You know, I don't necessarily think that meals need to look a certain way based on the time.
Hang on. Green Gypsy, you think the haters make the haters think different? I don't think so. Green Gypsy Bird, I really don't think so. It would be a great video, but I think he would be bombarded. Why aren't you? I mean, and he would have to touch more on the drama, let's be real, because, you know, being a psychologist, you're dealing with, you're dealing with human drama. You're dealing with their calamities. You know, so unlike Abbey Sharp, who can do all to avoid it because she's only talking about food and physical well-being associated with food, he actually would have to dip into the drama. He actually would have to. So, yeah, I don't see the haters changing their mind, though. I can see the haters trying to bombard him. And I think Dr. Grande would be able to handle it. He'd probably ignore them, to be honest. I think he'd ignore them. But I don't see him doing it. Abby knew for sure what sorts of comments she'd attract. There's a reason she opened with an oh boy. Yeah, she probably expected some. I don't think she expected what she got. Let's put it that way. But that's what I think. He's low-key snarky in all his videos. His early ones, he wasn't as much. But he does now because people like it. Never rude, always professional, but still funny. Yeah, and that's a good way to describe him. Yeah. Today's video, he said fighter pilots need to be psychopaths. I missed that one. I missed that one. Okay. 60. Okay. Okay.
Cancer. So just like to really keep in mind.
I appreciate her. I do. Don't. Don't get me wrong, but I hate that she keeps bringing up my cancer. I understand, like, this is all within a good heart. I can tell that she's a good person, to be honest, and I can tell that she really likes to help people. But as sad as this is, I'm very out of sight, out of mind, and that probably is 100% the reason why I am the way I am. The reason why I'm as big as I am is because I'm very out of sight, out of mind, and I hate thinking about the fact that I had cancer, and I hope that I don't anymore. So it's like, I try to never think about it. And the fact that she keeps bringing it up, it's like, it almost feels like every time she talks about it, I'm like being smacked in the face. And I guess I kind of deserve it.
Well, I don't think that's Abby's intention, Abbey Sharp's intention. Abbey Sharp comes off as a kindly woman. I don't think that's her intention. That's not to say I'm not going to invalidate Amberlynn's feelings either. Let's face it, the two have never met. They probably have never messaged each other, never contacted each other. So how is one supposed to know about the other, really? But, you know, like I said, she had to, you know, Abbey Sharp does have to gloss over the cancer. That's her job on her channel as far as that's concerned. That's also her job in real life when she is with clients and patients. I can understand trying to block out. I mean, let's face it, getting cancer or another serious illness is a trauma. It is a trauma. And a lot of people deal with trauma by, you know, some are managing to put it out of their mind, try to forget about it, and some succeed at it, you know, bury it way down deep. You know, I mean, I've had childhood traumas that I'd forgotten about, and then, whoops, flash, I would remember in my adulthood, I would remember, it would come in memory flashes, you know, but, you know, so like I said, I think they're both, I think, I'm not going to, so that's why I'm not going to invalidate Amberlynn's feelings, but at the same time, got to understand, Abbey Sharp kind of doesn't have a choice here. So it's basically no win. Let me see what you're saying in the chat. Okay. Oh, he would definitely get bombarded, but it would be interesting. He gets into the drama with other YouTubers. He's talked about it in today's video about Trisha and Ethan. A girl can dream. Oh, no, I understand, Green Gypsy, but I'll be honest. Even Trisha Paytas doesn't elicit the drama or even the controversy anymore that Amberlynn does. You know, I mean, Trisha Paytas, by the way, is on the verge of, I mean, her channel is dying. She may have over 4 million subscribers, but take a look at the views on her videos. She ain't getting the views no more. Trisha Paytas is not getting the views no more. You know what I mean? Oh, I saw that one when she was ripping on Drew Pinsky for saying they should be narcissists. I think Amber would be so much better off if she just ignored the people and did her thing. You know, ignoring bullies doesn't make them go away, and I'm speaking from my own personal experience. This is why I have a soft spot for Amberlynn, because I've been bullied my entire life, and I can tell you from experience, ignoring a bully does not make them go away. Not fighting back, it just makes them come at you harder. I'm speaking from experience. It's not just Hater Nation. It's real life experience. They come at you harder. The only way to deal with a bully, unfortunately, is to stand up to them and fight them back, you know, until you have a good comeback. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Trisha is on her way out. She is on her way out, and she does not. I mean, she was once controversial. She was once popular, but that's not the case anymore.
Let's take a look at lunch. Okay, so for lunch, day one, she's at a restaurant and she has some tilapia with cream sauce, broccoli, and zucchini. Day two is just a Luna bar for lunch. And day three is a second bowl of that pasta she had on day one. Now, for lunch on day one, which is the fish and veggies from Ruby Tuesdays, which looks delicious.
I'm hungry.
Amberlynn also mentions that even though this meal was low calorie, it did help her feel full. And I'm really not surprised by this, because if you guys remember my hunger crushing combo, we want to aim for a source of fat, protein, and fiber with our meals. So this meal in particular is getting protein from the shrimp and tilapia, fat from the cream sauce, and fiber from the veggies. So super satisfying, I'm sure.
Okay, we're going to pass over the rest of the food stuff. We're going to pass over the rest of the food stuff.
Based on what we're seeing in these 2020 What I Did Day videos, her portion sizes are not particularly big. In fact, at times...
No, they're not. Compared to most mukbangers, no, they're not.
Set you up for a binge really quick.
But I feel like when she says that, it's not like she's saying, oh my God, you should have had more pasta. I feel like as a whole, when I'm trying to lose weight, I need more vegetables and I guess more protein, because those things are going to fill me up longer.
But we do have some generally balanced meals to work
I'm learning.
There is, of course, some room to optimize the nutrition in some of Amberlynn's meals, particularly to ensure that she's satiated and then not setting herself up for a binge with inadequate calories at meal times, and also to make sure that she's getting in.
Yeah, we had covered that when I reacted to Obese to Beast.
Adding in extra nutrition from protein and fiber would help to make her meals more satiating, keeping her blood sugar levels in check, and of course helping to keep her fuller for longer without adding in a ton of calories, which may potentially reduce the urge to binge later on in the day. Also, focusing on lots of colorful fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans, and soy protein may help reduce her risk of future cancer. But again, these videos are just one piece.
It is interesting, isn't it, Green Gypsy Bird? Yeah.
Eats off camera or during an actual binge.
I just want to bring this up. I guess something else that frustrates me is, like, why is it okay for people to judge me, make fun of me, aka binge monster, and all these things, and invalidate the fact that, you know, I do have eating disorder, I do have food problems, But then if it's like a skinny person with these problems, people don't ever make fun of them. That's something that I just like, I don't understand. It's not fair. It's very hypocritical. Anyways, just a thought.
I'm with you there, Amberlynn. I am with you there 100%. I'm an overweight woman myself, and I live in a city where I'm just going to come right out and say it. The city's tourist tagline should be where anorexia is a healthy lifestyle. If you are an overweight woman, not even men so much, but woman, okay? If you go to somewhere, a coffee shop or a restaurant in a trendy part of town, like downtown or wherever, okay, and I've experienced this firsthand, or even just, you know, you go into, you know, the looks, the gawking, and the way they whisper and they point. Yeah. This is what I go through if I were, that's why I don't, even before the pandemic, I will not eat in a restaurant alone. I'll order out from Uber Eats if I have to, or DoorDash or whatever. I'll do that where I could eat in the privacy of my own home where no one is gawking at me. But yeah, but I've seen skinny people, and they can eat a ton of food. And nobody says anything about that. Nobody says anything about it. I mean, nobody says anything about Veronica Wang. Nobody says anything about Stephanie Sue. And yeah, there is definitely a bias between the men and the women. And that is why I'm actually working on a video soon. It's going to be a Nikocado avocado versus Amberlynn comparative as to how the audience approaches both of them. And the reason I'm picked to match her up with Nikocado here is because Nikocado's situation is the most similar I can find in a male. And so I want to just highlight double standards. But anyways, that's another video that's coming up. So it's true. He has a point. Like I said, I've lived it. I've flipped it. I've seen it. I go to the supermarket and I was picking out vegan ice cream because I like my treats for the holidays, and I had to pick something lower, you know, with a lower sugar value. And I've always now I have to look at the ingredients, but now I'm planning to cheat a bit for the holidays, like everybody else does. I'm not alone. And I got a gawky look from strangers. I got gawked at by strangers. Yeah.
I had it in my head.
Now, one hot topic that I want to get into is mukbangs. And I've shared my thoughts on the mukbang trend, which you can watch right here. Actually, mukbangs on YouTube have now evolved from the Korean trend of eating a modest amount of food in front of an audience to simulate a social eating experience virtually, to now eating a large quantity of food in a short period of time, aka the actual clinical definition of a binge.
But like I've said before, this is not me binging. I literally sit down with a normal meal that I would eat. If you guys, I feel like I need to film another binge. So just you guys can see like education based and also like.
No, don't do that. It's also because let's be honest, I've seen her cesspool known as her comment section in the past. And even Freely the Banana Girl touched on this when she reacted to Amberlynn, what was it, a year ago? And I talked about it with Peanut a few weeks ago on my stream here a few weeks ago even. There are people who want to watch her binge, like Nikocado avocado style of binging, okay? They want to see that. And the first reaction, you know, is like, what the hell is wrong with you people? No, seriously, you know? Is this a case of her suggesting give the audience what they want? Maybe. But, you know, I'm all for giving your audience what they may want, but within reason. Like if there's a few people in my audience who say, well, I want to see you live stream skydiving off the roof of your apartment building. Well, obviously that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And besides, or if they ask me to comment, you know, something more realistic. If they ask me to comment on, say, Jeffree Star or Jaclyn Hill, that's not likely going to happen either because I don't cover the beauty community. People who follow my commentary know I don't give a flying fig about the beauty community. You know what I mean? Let me turn to the chat for a minute. Okay, let me turn to the chat. Okay. Yeah, I find yes, Amber disagrees with at first and then changes her mind. She does that a lot, but you know what? So do I. So do I, Gypsy. I think a lot of people do. My little joke about it, when I change my mind over things, sometimes quickly, it's sometimes quickly. Sometimes it's like, okay, what do you want? I'm a Libra. Okay, I'm a Libra. That's my running joke. Don't use it. Yeah, Abby was talking about the meals, talking about her meals, not her mukbangs at that point. Abby made good points about higher satiety foods, something people in ALR's comments dissuade her from eating in quantity. That's another thing, Annie Apocalypse. I always find if she sits there and eats a carrot stick, they're not happy. It's like, what do you want her to do? Eat gruel? Eat nothing but gruel and, I don't know, river water? I don't know. That's the feeling I get, That's the feeling. That is quite the feeling I get. Oh, okay, Fedora. Just preemptively shoot my roof skydiving idea before you even hear my pitch then. Anti-apocalypse. You are starting to almost sound like Kate Winslet. Almost. Kate Winslet would be proud. The image of what constitutes obesity is strongly skewed in the U.S. After 13 years, even I started suffering distortions in what was normal. She doesn't know what a normal portion is, and that's why she thinks it's a normal meal. We overeat so much here. When when I lost all my weight, I was shocked at what an actual serving is. Okay. We love being fatties here in America. I believe people should be accepted for who they are. You know what I mean? Judge a person not by their looks or by their size, but by who they are. That's weird. I would never consider you fat. You're normal in the States. I've heard that before, Gypsy. I've actually heard that before. But I'm actually obese class 2. Okay? That's how I'm classified. I'm actually obese class 2. But I also have hypothyroidism. So they're still trying to find medication that works because my original medication don't work no more. Happens. Yeah, she does. That happens. I've lived in the U.S. for a total of 13 years. You'll never find a society more culturally accepting of obesity apart from certain Pacific islands where super morbid obesity is actively glorified. They must have not have been to America. We fat and happy here. Not true. People are cruel to Eugenia Cooney. I've never seen cruelty to Eugenia Cooney. Actually, I'm planning a video also, Amberlynn versus Eugenia, and the double standards with the treatment there. And I'm not going to go into detail here because that's going to be in a video that entirely devoted to that. But yeah, Eugenia Cooney got hate recently, and it had nothing to do with it. There were no comments really about her size. It was because the girl had a Discord server and she had Twitch mods on her Discord and her Twitch that turned out to be registered sex offenders. Okay? They turned out to be registered sex offenders. And so she was called out for that, especially since her Discord server allowed minors. Okay? Her server allowed minors. Most of her audience, or at least half her audience, are under the age of 18 and young and impressionable. So yeah, so that was the issue. You're going to have minors. You're going to have under 18. You better vet your mods. My server does not allow for people under 18 to join. Why? Because I don't want the responsibility. I don't want the headache. I don't want the headache. I don't want the responsibility that goes with it. I have a co-administrator who I know well. She handles all the tech. And I have one moderator who I've known for a long time. It's a woman. My moderator is another woman. I've known her for a long time, and she's doing a great job, Yeah, Abby was talking about her meals, not her mukbangs. Okay, we got that point. Sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I believe that people think I'm too skinny, and I'm just below overweight on the BMI scale. That's another thing. I did a video talking about the BMI, and even science has come out to say that it's really not a reliable study. And they actually say you got to do it the old fashioned way, get the old tape measure out, because the BMI, there's a few issues with it. You get people who, for instance, are bodybuilders, okay? They're bodybuilders. And we all know muscle weighs more than fat. Bone weighs more than fat. So somebody with a larger bone structure than average, or somebody who who bodybuilds or works out all the time, they could have a higher BMI than somebody who is obese. Same thing would go with a pregnant woman, a woman who's pregnant, So that's just a few examples. And many are suggesting now it's got to go back to the old-fashioned way of checking, doing more to check and not just rely on the BMI numbers alone. I'll put that video. It's an old video that got hardly any views. I'll link that video in the pinned comment when I'm done. Okay. They went after her for eating too much lettuce. She had a severely distended stomach. Let her sate herself with low calorie. Yeah, exactly, Anti-Apocalypse. I get that. Oh, stop, you flatterer, you. Oh, Eugenia's comments are so mean. I think she deletes them because they are on her live, but once she gets the video, the comments are gone. Yeah, I've never seen any nastiness towards her. And if you check her Instagram, I don't know if you have Instagram, but you check her Instagram, the pro-Anna people are out in full force. Trust me. They are out in full force saying how gorgeous she is, or they wrote, goals, #Thinspo. For those who don't know what the pro-Anna is, that's an online movement of sorts that are pro-anorexia. No, I kid you not. No, I kid you not. I saw a bunch of videos about the sex offenders as her mods. Just wow. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, again, Gypsy, it's why I won't, even my Discord server that won't take minors, I'm very careful. I have one mod in there for 100 people. Everybody pretty much behaves. So I don't need another mod at this point. I asked her if she wanted me to appoint another mod. She said, no, everything's fine. So, I have one mod, and it's a woman I know very well. So yeah, you have to kind of vet your people, Yeah, people have been calling out Eugenia for ages. They keep talking about how she needs to stop affecting the childlike innocence. And that's the other thing. But that's another discussion for another time. Calipers or DEXA are better at that. But BMI is fine for the vast majority of people because very few people are lean mass outliers. Once we have a bodybuilder epidemic, get back to me. No, we don't have a bodybuilder epidemic, but like I said, it's like you said, Anti-Apocalypse, you consider DC Clara to be obese. I don't. I consider her to be normal size. I consider DC, I don't like, as much as I dislike DC Clara, I'll give credit where it's due. To me, she's normal size. She looks normal size, or maybe my muscles are making up my BMI higher. I don't know how much, I don't know what your workout schedule is, but I don't know. But it is a fact that muscle weighs more than fat does. Yeah. Also know that pregnant women have special considerations for the general population. Yeah. Yeah. So it's the science, like I said, is backing away from that. Yeah. Green Gypsy, not to disappoint, but Iris Kyle at her stage weight is at a healthy BMI and barely edges into the overweight BMI in her cutoff season. It's terrible, but I think next, I bet, easy for me to read. It's terrible to think, but I bet Netflix doesn't documentary on Eugenia if she were to pass away. So sad. I don't know. I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. It's extremely difficult for a woman to get into an overweight BMI due to lean mass. We don't have the hormone environment to build the sort of muscle that allows that. Darn, I guess I'm just still fat, but I'm a skinny legend in the United States. Gypsy Bird, you be you, okay? You be you. No matter what you look like, it doesn't change you as a person. And that's kind of what I promote on my channel, okay? You be you. People should appreciate you as a human being, not what you look like. Yeah. Clara's obese. I think she's normal too. Yeah. I think she's normal too. She's normal size too. I don't think she's obese. I don't like her, but I don't think she's obese. I know, but she is obese. She's obscuring her obesity by iceberging the camera and with her clothing. People think obesity means a pendulous gut and a double chin. It's much earlier than that. Okay. But like I said, to me, she looks normal size. Okay, let's go.
See kind of what I deal with. I need to film one of those so you guys can see like the difference because it's crazy different.
So obviously, to the average viewer, Amberlynn's regular mukbang activity seems at odds with her weight loss goals. And this, of course, has led to a lot of online bullying, vicious diet trolling, and accusations that she's your health.
Absolutely.
With that said, Amberlynn has recently shared that she's actively trying to rebrand her channel without doing mukbangs because even though these videos generate the most views
and money,
they also generate the
that's
most
true.
But I can hate a lot like what we heard from Mikado on his channels as well. Now, what I do want to point out, however, especially in contrast to other infamous mukbangers like Nick, is that the volume of food in Amberlynn's mukbangs pale in comparison.
That's true.
In fact, even though there's
it's kind of like an optical illusion, isn't it? You know, people think, you know, but it's true. She doesn't, if she sits down to a mukbang, it's not nearly what Nick Ocado or even someone like Steven Sushi or even Veronica Wang would pile down. You know what I mean? I'm an ultra runner, but lift a lot, so I look chunkier than the average runner. Okay, that's understandable, Gypsy. You know what I mean? You're building muscle mass, and that's understandable. Like I said, we love you for who you are. Yeah, I was on the doorstep of obesity while in the U.S. and feeling like shit. The Americans thought I was at a healthy weight. It's not about looks or character. My health was suffering. Yeah, if your health was suffering, yeah, by all means, do what you can to get it fixed. See the necessary healthcare professionals if you can. But like I said, I think character is most important. I think we should be judging people by their character, not by how they look. I want someone that has lost a lot of weight to do a video on how hard it is to change. Obese to Beast talks about that a lot, Green Gypsy Bird. I don't know if you watch him, Obese to Beast, but he talks about his own struggle, his own past struggles and his own experiences. And I mean, he comes off as a nice guy, you know. I mean, for a fitness channel, he doesn't have the ego that the others do, which is a big plus in my books. But yeah, Obese to Beast is one such person. You know what I mean? Okay, let's go. Let me check my notes. Okay.
Some traditional mukbang foods like plain Cheetos and various high-calorie, highly processed fast foods, we're also seeing a lot of less typically bingeable and more balanced meals like veggie stir-fry, tuna and celery with rice cakes, veggie burgers, or some meatloaf served with some mac and cheese.
Yes.
And these meals are often even accompanied by a side of veggies or sliced fruit.
And I was still getting hate, you guys.
This is true.
I ate cherries as a mukbang, and I probably had maybe, God, I can't remember. It's been a hot minute. 8 or 10 cherries, just like fresh cherries from the produce aisle. Hate, all over the place.
It's true, and it's not just her. I've seen this with other overweight women in this damn city. You know, it's like they don't want us to eat a damn thing. They want us to only live on a gruel and puddle water. You know, I've seen this. That's what they say. Well, stop eating. Don't eat. You can afford to not eat. And it's just not true. And if you've got diabetes attached to that, here's the thing. You cannot go without food every day. If you're a diabetic, you can have the opposite problem. My ex had it. My father had it. I get it too. That's where the blood sugar takes a nosedive. And what happens is, and I've seen it with my ex and my father and myself, is we get jittery, very jittery, like we're shaky, and nausea sets in, but not, a nausea sets in, dizziness, all kinds of weird shit. So and it's just as dangerous if your blood sugar takes a fast nosedive down. It's just as dangerous. So yeah, you do have to kind of eat. You have to eat the proper foods, obviously, but you do have to eat at regular intervals. Let me see what you're all saying. It's never been about anything Amberlynn actually does. They twist everything she's doing because they loathe her. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, but he's a dude and is 8 years thin. I'd like it to be a woman who has done it more recently. God, I don't know anyone like that, Green Gypsy Bird. I really don't. I don't know anyone like that. If I did, I would tell you. I promise. I would even link it in the. I would even link it in the chat for you. Yeah. A woman only because of Amber and Chantal. It's different for women who lose weight. I 100% believe she ate 10 cherries and got hate. I've seen it with, you saw it with the lettuce too. Yeah. I saw that too with the tuna. What was it? The cucumber and tuna boats. And people were going all ape shit about that. I don't know. Maybe because it had mayonnaise in it. I don't know. Whatever. But they went ape shit over that. And if anybody remembers Obese to Beast's reaction to the Abbey Sharp video, and I covered that, a week or so ago, I'll link that in the pinned comment when we're done here. And Obese to Beast, he even talked about, currently to get his healthy veggies and to get his healthy proteins in, he likes it. One of his favorite things to do with it is to slather it in Panda Express orange sauce, probably high in sugar, high in fat, and all that. And he admits that, but he's open to it. If it's going to get you to eat the healthier food, if it's going to get you there, if it's going to get you to eat the healthier food, then who would I be to condemn it? And Obese to be submitted, he himself would eat the orange sauce. They're probably screaming about the sugar at the cherries, like they were freaking out about Chantal eating carrots. I thought that was ridiculous. The Christmas dinner that Chantal ate, it's a traditional Christmas dinner. Look, that's what it looked like. Turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, and a root vegetable. That's your typical traditional holiday dinner, Like even those who might be on a weight loss journey that are hating on them, they're not going to cheat and go off track during the holidays. Come on. They're all going to go off track, or if not, about good 95% of them will, and the fruit in cherries is not, the sugar in cherries or any fruit, it's not the same as the refined sugars you would find in a Mae West or any of those crappy little cakes that you find at the convenience store. We call them Joe Louis here in Montreal, in Quebec. We have the Joe Louis. I think you guys got the Twinkies or the Twinkies. I think they are Twinkies. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so it's fine. As someone who is and has always been fit, except for the brief period when I was drinking, when I was at the doorstep of an obese BMI, and who has a genetic, not lifestyle-induced type 2, you will get all kinds. You will get all kinds of people giving cockamamie diet advice for managing it. That is garbage. Absolutely. I love me some tuna and vegan mayo. Yeah, I'm a vegan, so of course, there's only vegan mayo in this house, Green Gypsy Bird. There's only vegan mayo in here. I don't eat tuna, obviously, but yeah, I eat it 6 days a week for lunch. Absolutely, right on. I saw one of the doctors' advice for doctors for genetic type 2 diabetes in the world, and she and her dietitian told me my extremely clean diet was optimal. I can't tell you how many randos on the internet want to give me their own special diet to cure my incurable genetic T2DM. This is the thing. They don't believe diabetes is genetic. Either the type 1, which is what we see with children, and the type 2, which is usually, for the most part, adult onset. You love Twinkies. Okay. I don't know if they sell Twinkies here, honestly. I really don't. But yeah, in my case, it doesn't really matter what size I am. Both sides of my family were hit with type 2 diabetes, okay, equally. Both my father and my mother's side were hit. Okay, my brother was diagnosed diabetic long before I was, and he is slim. He has always been a slim boy. He was a slim kid. He was a slim adult. So, and it hit him before it hit me. And anyways, we're going to see. But anyways, my doctor and the nurse, they want to give it another couple of months before to see if this will correct itself. I get that 85% of T2DM are caused by lifestyle, but some of us can't be cured, but everyone wants to sell their miracle diet. And isn't that the truth, Anti-Apocalypse? The $1 billion diet industry, it sets people up for failure. It feeds on the desperation of people, and it sets them up for failure. This is how they make their money. This is how they make their money. Do you have to give yourself insulin shots? No, my doctor is not prescribing insulin shots or metformin or pills at this time. He wants to see if it'll correct itself in 2 months. So he's sending me back he wants to see if it'll correct itself. So I'm working with a nurse that specializes in diabetes. It's pretty much phone consultations now because of the pandemic. But yeah, so right now I'm working with her. Right now, and we're going to see in 2 months my next random glucose and also my next glucose fasting. I will also be getting a glucose fasting, and that will be done on 2 separate days. Yeah. It's just amazing that internet randos think they have more insight than experts. ALR's comment section can barely string 2 coherent words together. But they're miracle doctors. Ain't that the truth? It's what I said earlier, It's what I said earlier. Okay.
Let's be real. It doesn't really satisfy a viewer's desire to live vicariously through a YouTuber's epic cheating. So Amberlynn's mukbangs are, dare I say, healthier than most YouTubers all in 10,000 calorie challenges?
Yes. But why is it okay for people to do 10,000 calorie challenges? I could never. Oh my God. Ugh. I ate an apple on camera and people freak out.
The comment section
True.
of her mukbangs,
That's
compared
true.
to many others, like say Always Hungry, Amberlynn bears the brunt of the disgust and hate. Let's just look at one of the most popular comments on Amberlynn's mukbang versus one from lifestyle YouTuber Always Hungry.
Oh wow.
Both of these people.
So I wanted to read you guys the comments because I didn't in the original reaction because I guess I was too shocked. So the comments on mine are, I don't like eating with my fingers. Girl, I'm surprised you haven't eaten your fingers. Amber can delete comments, but she can never delete the fact that she has to wake up in a literal mattress-sized prison. You're so pathetic. I can't imagine this actually being someone's life. It's been 5 years. You haven't lost a pound. You are eating yourself to death. There's no way someone her size isn't pre-diabetic or diabetic.
Again, with the diagnosis.
Audacity to
Again, with the... How do they know?
say that as a 500-pound person. So then we have Always Hungry comments. And she's eating very bad foods in huge quantities. It says, love your videos and looks forward to your cheat days. Yum. Girl, you're living it up and I'm here for it. Everything looks so delicious. The happy donut dance, it looks you happy while eating. Oh my God, this is the best donuts I've ever seen. Love ya. So it's just hypocritical, and it doesn't matter what size you are, but eating huge amount of foods isn't healthy either way. But it just kind of goes to show that the skinnier you are and the more attractive you are, the more accepting it is to do really anything. Mukbangs are only one example of this.
Oh, wow. Both of these people posted wanting to get or stay fit, but the primary difference is that Lydia Adams from Always Hungry is already in a socially desirable body, and Amberlynn is not. So why does someone's body size influence our perception about whether or not mukbangs are acceptable? And why is eating any amount of food that is not considered diet food not socially acceptable from somebody in a larger body? Here's the thing. I am by no means condoning mukbang videos of any kind, even the more modest versions on Amberlynn's channel. I honestly think that this is a really problematic YouTube trend that perpetuates a lot of disordered eating behaviors. But okay, I don't mean to interrupt her because she's on a roll and she's on a good roll. Love it. But I feel like mukbangs should be okay if it's like an actual meal that you're going to sit down and eat, not during a binge, not purposely binging for the camera, not purposely ordering 7 different meals from a restaurant. I feel like if it's a normal meal that you would eat, I feel like that should be okay for anybody. These behaviors are unhealthy regardless of size. Repeatedly eating large amounts of highly processed foods in one sitting can lead to increased blood pressure and blood sugar, water retention, shifts in one's gut microflora, and dysregulation. But it's very clear that the negative public perception of Amberlynn's content is unique because of her size. And that's nothing new. Research suggests that society's negative attitudes towards obese people play a significant role in their psychological and their physical health. I get that a lot of people think that trolling an obese person about their weight.
I will link again. I have linked it before in other videos. I will link again. What the report that Abbey Sharp is referring to is from the Canadian Medical Association Journal. And I will link their articles there too. I'm going to turn the chat over. My husband's best friend has type 2 and he has to give himself shots. I couldn't imagine. It looks like it hurts so bad. I hope you won't have to. You and me both, because with the issues I have with my fine motor skills, I wouldn't be able to give myself the injection. Somebody else would have to jab me. It's not that I'm scared of needles. I've got tattoos. And I go for blood tests regularly lately. Lately, these days, it seems like I go for blood tests every 2 months. So, no, it's not needles that I'm scared of. It's just that my fine motor skills are shot. Well, they never were there to begin with. And someone else would have to jab me. Okay? Yeah. So I hope I don't have to, too. I technically have pre-diabetes, but I eat clean and work out daily, and my A1C hasn't moved in years. Right on, Anti-Apocalypse. You can manage genetic diabetes with lifestyle, just not cure it. Yeah, right on. Yeah, and that's what my doctor is actually aiming for, to see if a lot of this corrects itself in a couple of months with me working with the nurse. If I keep eating clean and working out as I have, I might not need meds for even 10 years or more. And it is possible to correct some of it. I mean, my ex went plant-based. I won't say he's entirely vegan, but he is mainly plant-based. He stopped eating red meat except for on Passover or on Rosh Hashanah dinner, because he can't pass up on his sister-in-law's cooking. That's fine. That's fair. But other than that, the rest of the year he doesn't eat any meat. He doesn't eat dairy. And recently his endocrinologist had told him that he found that his numbers were so good that they were going to experiment by lowering his medication dosages, giving him lower dosages. And so far, he's doing well with that. So you can correct some of it. Damn it, it's empty in here. I know, huh? Those comments are projection. Yeah, precisely. Just us. It's just us. Well, there's a reason I made this one members only, because that's what I want to offer as a perk to my members. Just to have a members only chat. The last week I had more people in the chat, but also Negs is having a live stream at the same time. So, and we share the same audience. It is what it is. And if they want to, they'll catch this in the replay. It'll be up later. You know what I mean? But I kind of like these members only chats. It's because it's easy for me to manage. I mean, I like interacting with everybody. Don't get me wrong. But when I feel I'm diving into a territory that's somewhat controversial for YouTubers, I prefer to do the old members only chat. You know what I mean? So, yeah. 72% of Americans are obese or overweight statistically. Most of her audience is fat. They're beating up on her because it's easier to feel superior to ALR than for them to put the fork down. And I've always said this, and I'll even be fair to Charlie Gold or even on Program Situation. I'll be fair. I mean, if there's one thing I could say, learning from my own experience, sometimes you got to fight your doctor, but get them to do a thyroid, run a thyroid, the TSH and the T3-4. Okay, get them to, it's just a checkbox on a blood test requisition. Very easy. No muss, no fuss. Get your thyroid checked. Make sure you don't have any hormonal issues. And if you're taking an antidepressant like Lexapro or Prozac, weight gain is a side effect. Okay? It is a side effect. And it's the same thing if you're on a steroid like prednisone, for instance. It's a steroid. I don't really need to say more about that. Yeah, no trolls bothering us. Well, that's exactly the other great thing about it, Great and Gypsyburg. No trolls. No trolls. Yeah. Easy to manage. Pours gasoline, lights fire. Anti-apocalypse. You're the one who's supposed to keep me out of trouble. You're the one who's supposed to keep me out of trouble. Michelle's not here right now. Yeah, Michelle's not here. They won't put the fork down, but they're happy to pick up the torch and pitchfork up. This is true. This is true. This is true. But seriously, I would advise anybody before going, particularly women, women, you know, get your thyroid checked, check your medication that you're on, check the side effects. And there's another thing, and this is characterized by specific build, Cushing syndrome. I have a friend that has it. So I have a friend that has it, and I know what her real life experience and her struggles with the condition are. Cushing syndrome is another hormonal issue, usually dealing with the pituitary gland, or it could be if you were on an extended use of steroid like prednisone. Like somebody with lupus, for instance, would be steroid dependent, or somebody with COPD. But it's usually characterized like skinny limbs, skinny arms and legs, and skinny hips and a skinny butt. But you got a rotund middle, you got a rotund midsection, and you got the double chin happening. And you got kind of like the round face. And that usually is a characterization. That's usually one of the visual characterizations of Cushing syndrome. Yeah. I don't know where Michelle went. She said earlier she wasn't able to stay too long. Yeah. I don't know where she went. Yeah. Forks are so light, though. That's true. That's true. Oh, that's true. Okay.
Or offering like aggressive dieting advice might motivate these individuals
It
to
doesn't.
adopt healthier behaviors.
No,
But
it doesn't.
statistically, the opposite is true.
Yep.
Research shows that the experience of weight stigma reduces exercise frequency, and
Yep.
increases binge eating,
Yep.
unhealthy weight control behaviors, and binge eating disorder.
All
I
of the
have talked
above.
about this before, and I have said before that tough love does not work on me. If you're supportive and you're positive and you're uplifting, that is the type of energy that I thrive on as a person in any sort of way. And every time I sit here and I'm like, okay, I'm a YouTuber, let's look at the comments, you know, that's important. I get this overwhelming sense to binge. It happens a lot. And I have shared this before, and people always just say, stop blaming us, stop blaming us. That's just a way to invalidate true psychological damage that you guys are doing to me. And I know a lot of people can also say, get off of YouTube, get off of YouTube. Why are you here then if it bothers you so bad?
Okay, a few points to that. The whole get off of YouTube thing, I'm going to start with a joke, the usual joke. It's sure to get off. Where would these haters get their content? Where would where would they get their content? But yeah, that's the opening joke. That's my little joke. But she's got a point there. Science says so. Like I said, I will reproduce the copy of the article from the Canadian Medical Association Journal, as well as an article called the Scarlet F from the Harvard School of Public Health. And they say that the more you fat shame, the worse it gets. Let's take a look at something in real life, okay? Fat shaming has been on the rise, you know, discrimination and all that. It's been on the rise. Obesity and weight issues are on the rise, so is the shaming, okay? So obviously shaming them is not working, okay? It doesn't work, and it's probably making the situation worse. Once again, that is backed by science, okay? I'll put the articles in, and those who don't believe it, I suggest you read those, or I really suggest you read those articles. Highly suggest. So science is on our side here when it comes to that. I've seen it at a gym that I once frequented, the ladies' locker room. It's worse than a girls' high school gym class locker room. It's worse, the henpecking and the cackling. They see an overweight woman coming in to the locker room, it's the gawking and the pointing and of course these women tend to never come back. Well, of course not. Would you? Well, maybe some would. Most I don't think would, though. Most I don't think would. So that's for that, And the other thing is, yeah.
I feel like we need to focus on taking out the bad vibe people, taking out the bullying, instead of taking out the YouTuber who's literally just doing their job and doing something that they're passionate about.
He's got a point there. This whole thing got off YouTube to get away from the bullies. It means the bullies win, and bullying is bad behavior. Bad behavior should be discouraged. You know what I mean? It kind of reminds me, you know, the girl of a woman who was assaulted, you know, who was assaulted. And the first thing they ask in court, or the first thing even the police will ask in a report, what were you wearing? Was your skirt too short? To me, it's synonymous. Well, don't go on YouTube if you don't want to be shamed. To me, it's the same thing as shaming. You know, it's not the same thing, not the same thing. But the analogy is similar there. Let me check what you're all saying. I feel her on the binging. I have certain clients that would trigger me to binge. Took me 3 years to fix my binging issue. Okay, right on, right on. When I found Hater Nation 2 years ago, they were still pretending that they cared about ALR's welfare, and they were just trying to help her out. Well, we know how that turned out, don't we, Anti-Apocalypse? Rotund is your new favorite word? Okay, cool. I rely on Michelle to keep you out of trouble. I'm not used to real responsibility. I guess I'll extinguish the fire if you insist. They have a home thyroid? Oh, wow. Really, Gypsy? They have a home thyroid test there that your doc recommended, since it's hard to get one in person testing with Oh, that is very interesting. And I'm glad to hear about that, Gypsy. I'm really glad to hear about that. I feel her, yeah, on the binging. I have certain clients. Oh, yeah. Can I ask you, can I ask what you do, or do you keep that private? Okay. Like I said, feel free if you don't want to answer any. This is for everyone watching. Okay. Like I said, most of my live streams, I invite the whole public to chat. You know, feel free to keep whatever you want private, you know. Me, yeah. I work for a multifamily operational company, so apartment building owners hire me to handle their operations. That sounds like a stressful job, Gypsy. That sounds like a stressful job. Cool, Anti-Apocalypse says. Okay.
In fact, one study on more than 2,400 overweight and obese women reported that 79% of participants coped with weight stigma by eating more food, and 5% of participants coped by refusing to change their diet. In addition, weight stigma can also cause psychological stress.
Excuse me. Here's another way to look at it. Think about it. You're poked fun at, or you're discriminated at work, or you're poked fun at it, or you're rejected, just rejected from social events, or even the relationship / dating world, or somebody comes out and calls you fatty, or you badass, what are you doing? Stuff like that. You get it. Or you see anything from Amberlynn's comment section. What are you going to do? You feel hurt. You're down, very, very much so emotionally. What's the first thing you are going to do when you're down? You're going to seek comfort. You're going to seek comfort. And where are you going to seek comfort? Well, if food is that comfort, God darn it, you're going to seek comfort in that food. I think it's similar. A lot of people who, they had a bad day at work. Why do they self-medicate? Well, they might binge drink, for instance. Others might binge drink. Some, unfortunately, use drugs. You know, I'm not saying it's healthy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm saying it is what it is, and I think we all have to do our part. I think we all have to do our part. I think we can all be better people, honestly. Let's see what you're saying. Hi, lurking public. Yes, hi, lurking public. Good to have you. I promise. Most of my streams chats are open to the public. Just sometimes when I do a sensitive, certain subjects, I prefer the members only. But most of the time I do, and we have a pretty good time here. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. 100 millions of real estate can make my clients stressed, and they take it out on me. Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that. That's got to be awful. I'm used to it now. And that's the thing. You shouldn't have to get used to it. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't be treated that way. I don't take it personal. No one is dying over washing machines, so they need to chill. True. It's a first world problem. I mean, a busted washing machine is a first world problem. You're right. Hypothetically, even if shaming worked, and it doesn't, who appointed MVP, CG, DCMG, who is class 1, no matter how I go to the bat for her. Hi, Clara, to be the shamer. Anti-apocalypse, anti-apocalypse. I think Kate Winslet would be proud if she were here today. If she were here this evening, I think she would be quite proud. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're not going to watch the whole thing, like I said. Let me check my notes, what I've got. Okay.
Which can increase the risk of depression, low self-esteem, and body dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
So you can see how this
Yep.
experience may actually perpetuate some of these unhealthy, destructive behaviors. So are internet trolls the reason for Amberlynn's extreme weight gains?
I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna answer this before she says anything. I don't know what she's gonna say. I was 420 pounds at the age of 16, and I didn't really have like social media. You know, I had a MySpace, and people were super sweet to me on there. So I am not this weight because of haters. I'm strictly this weight because of me. But I don't know if I'd be this big if it wasn't for YouTube. I know that I would still be fat for sure, but you know what? I really don't know.
Started her journey online? Well, according to the research, and simply by looking at the comment section of even just one of her videos, I would say that this is a real possibility.
Oh,
And considering that Amberlynn's weight gain and mukbang behavior has become so ingrained in her online identity, she might feel that it's understandably a really difficult pattern to break. Now, while my own personal and professional experiences see mukbangs as often really problematic, I'm also totally open to the possibility that they may play a therapeutic role for Amberlynn. In one of her videos, Amberlynn mentions that eating in front of the camera to
Okay. I think that's all we're going to watch of it because the rest of it goes on the same thing. But so that's all we're going to watch of that. Okay. It's interesting how Amberlynn cut the, she paused Abby to give a remark, and then Abbey Sharp is like, well, it's a real possibility. And again, Abbey Sharp has the science to back her up on this. It has the science to back her up on this. I remember Peanut talked about it a few days ago. Was it yesterday? The Amberlynn's video was out yesterday, so Peanut talked about it yesterday. Peanut believes, she said she believes, okay, I'm going to paraphrase here, that if Amberlynn wasn't making the YouTube coin, she wouldn't be as big as she is. Like, she wouldn't be eating the foods that she eats. I'm going to disagree with that. And to back up this argument of mine, all anybody has to do is watch an episode of My 600-Pound Life. You notice that where a lot of these people live, you know, like whoever they're doing the story about, where these people live, they're living in poverty conditions. Most receive a government disability because they obviously can't work, and they're unemployable, and so they're living in poverty-like conditions, like these ramshackled houses, these literal shacks, you know. So they're obviously not wealthy. Whatever little money they get, they're spending it on fast food, you know, which, if anything is to be believed. And like I said, My 600-Pound Life, like any reality show, please take it with a cue ball of salt. They do heavily script things and tweak things up to add drama, because drama like on YouTube, drama getting views, drama gets ratings on TV. But anyways, we see that they live in, the last season they featured Dominic. Dominic was a homeless man receiving government disability. But instead of trying to find a home for himself and his brother too, they were squeezing up living in that ramshackled old car somewhere in California. And like they were, you know, so no, I don't think, I guess the quality of food would be even less if Amberlynn didn't have that revenue. And let's face it, Amberlynn, not just because of her size, even if she stayed at 360 pounds, let's say, and never got to over 500 pounds, her mental health is as such. I don't think she's employable. So what's the alternative? She would probably be on government disability too. So, you know, probably far less disposable income and, you know, lesser quality of restaurant food. But No, I don't think the income really matters, like I said, because of my 600-pound life. Let's go. That's very flattering. Hang on. Gypsy Bird. So let's say I called you at midnight with water pouring down my ceiling onto my mattress in a small apartment where I didn't have the room to move my bed. And he says, most of my clients are great. It's the 80-20 rule. 20% are assholes, 80% are amazing, and sent me wine for Christmas. Oh, that's nice, Green Gypsy Bird. That's really nice. Cool. That's very flattering. Yeah, I agree. That is. You would call your property manager. They would call me in the morning, and I'd get a contractor out there to fix the water damage and fix the leak. I know what you mean. The vast majority of my students are great, even the troubled ones. There's a very small handful, well, they need to finish forming a bit more. That's very diplomatic of you. That's very diplomatic of you. I get the difference now. Yeah, I get the big guns are calling me. I'd rather hear from you. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I can see both Peanut and STFC's point on this. I do think money can make it easier, especially when you tie eating to income, but I don't for a second believe that that poverty cues eat. No, it doesn't. Poverty does not cure an eating disorder any more than cancer does. You know, not poverty, not cancer. Take a look at a drug addict, okay? I mean, what is it? Heroin and cocaine, meth, very, very expensive, or even getting OxyContin, you know? Very expensive out on the streets anywhere you buy it. It's very expensive. You might as well be buying caviar. But a lot of these, you know, a lot of addicts are on the streets and they're hustling to get that fix, and they somehow get that fix, you know? I mean, as expensive as food can be, or ordering out from Uber Eats, let's face it, heroin and cocaine are far more expensive. Far more. And an addict somehow gets their hands on it. Honestly, a lot of people just want to see ALR absolutely miserable, broke, eating sawdust and ashes. No matter how much they pretend, we just want what's best for you, Amberlynn. Her. Yeah, I'm with you there, Anti-Apocalypse. I'm with you there. Yeah, they just want to see her canceled, which means she'll be destitute. It's sad. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is sad, actually. Because like I said, the alternative is she's going to end up on government disability. She's unemployable. She can't work. Not even at a desk job. She couldn't handle she wouldn't be able to handle a desk job. You know? So that's what they want. They want to see her canceled. Yeah. But here's the thing. They want to see her canceled. They want to see Foodie Beauty canceled. Where would they get their content? Where would they get their content? That said, I'm glad Amberlynn came out with her video yesterday. I'm really glad she came out with that reaction. Yeah. Let's take a look. Uh-huh. Okay. Confirm things that do not cure eating disorders, online hate mobs, bitchy reaction channels, cancer, and poverty. Absolutely right, Anti-Apocalypse. Absolutely right. Absolutely. So, anyways, yeah, only the two of you stuck around through this, the whole thing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you both stuck around. And Michelle, who was in here earlier, glad that she was here earlier too. I've got to learn how to be more competitive. I've got to learn how to be more competitive with my streams. Oh, yes. But that's another topic for another time. So, like I said, this is sort of a prelude. This is sort of a prelude to two videos I am working on. They're going to be uploads, both of those videos, and you channel members will have early access to both of those videos whenever I get them done and uploaded. It would probably be next week after Christmas because it's a lot of editing. It's a lot of work, especially with this clunkety old computer. Very clunkety. But yeah, what I'm doing, like I said, is Amberlynn versus Nikocado Avocado, and another one is Amberlynn versus Eugenia, and they're double standards. So that's going to come out. Both of those videos, I think that's going to be next week. They'd love to see them on government assistance. They'd use that as another talking point to beat her over. That's the other thing, she can't win. They don't want her making money on YouTube. They don't want her making, her own money, at home making her videos. But the alternative is government disability or welfare. And yeah, they would be all up in arms over that too. You know what I mean? They would all be all up in arms over that too. This girl can't win. I mean, really, she can't win. And I know what that's like, because that's been most of my life. I couldn't win either, whether it was with my family or with my peers. I couldn't win either. This is why I'm on this side of the fence, because I can empathize. They need a new target to harass. Oh, no question about that, Green Gypsy Bird. And I'm sure they would find one. I mean, no doubt they would probably find one, a new target. They would definitely need a new target. Yeah. But yeah, they would. They likely would. What it comes down to, what I've noticed, people are not happy unless they have someone to hate on. And I mean really hate on. They're not happy. They're not, unless they have someone or something to hate on passionately. And wow. And if that's your reason to get up in the morning, maybe that's why. You know how they always say, she needs to go get help. She needs to go get a therapist. I don't know. Maybe, those like Charlie Gold who says she's seeing a therapist. Is therapy working for you, Charlie? I don't see it. And those of you those are the haters who are not, like the really vicious commenters, those of you who are not, maybe you should take your own advice and go seek therapy, because that kind of hatred is not healthy. That kind of hatred, it's just not healthy. That's not to say I love everybody. I don't. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty much like Melinda. I'm pretty much like Peanut. I hate everybody. That's not true. I love all of you. That's not true. I love all my subscribers. I love my viewers. But in real life, I don't like people either. I don't much like them. Largely because of my own life experience, and my own interactions with them. But, I love my audience. I'm grateful for the online friends I've made through my channel. I'm really grateful to my channel members, It says a lot about them that they just needle her all the time, make her squirm, and give her no recourse. Absolutely, Anti-Apocalypse. Absolutely. So what else is coming up on the horizon? I will be streaming on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day for those who are alone, especially now with the pandemic lockdowns. I think many will find themselves in that situation. No doubt there will be many others streaming on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and I will be doing mine. I'm going to try and get my real life friend Steve back. Those, Anti-Apocalypse might remember him. Green Gypsy Bird, I'm not sure if you did. It was my birthday stream that I did at the end of September. And that was the gray-haired dude with the beard, with the silver beard and the silver hair. My friend Steve. I'm going to try and get him to come on with me. We're going to shoot the breeze, and we're going to have some shits and giggles and some fun. And no, we're probably not going to discuss Hater Nation, because I think it'll just make him confused. It'll just make him confused. So. Yeah, although it would be an interesting social media experiment, to bring Steve on, or bring my ex-partner on, and call the video something like trying to explain Hater Nation to a non-YouTube watcher or something like that. It would be a very interesting social experiment to have them have either one of them react to a Charlie Gold video or even a Clara video with her bullhorn. It might be, but no, I don't think I can put Steve through that. It makes me think literally they have no other hobbies, no matter how much they say Amber doesn't live rent-free in their heads. Oh, she has a penthouse suite in their heads, Gypsy. She has a penthouse suite rent-free. Yeah, you would remember Steve. Yeah, like I said, no promises. No promises. He is in a different province from me, so their lockdown laws are a little different than ours are here. They're a little different than they are here. Us, we're not allowed to have gatherings, but in Ontario they might be. I'm not sure. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see, to be announced. It'll probably be a surprise when you see Steve's. If Steve agrees to do this, and if he agrees to come on, you'll be surprised and you'll see his face. Okay, that's how that will go. But yeah, I have to discuss it with him. But like I said, no promises. No promises. Amber is a classic scapegoat. She absolutely lives rent-free in their minds. And look at how they react when you suggest that they examine that issue and think about focusing on themselves. Exactly, anti-apocalypse. Exactly. That is exactly the truth. So, yeah. So I'm going to be ending this stream very shortly, like I said. We'll see. Planning a Christmas stream. Maybe with Steve, maybe not. You know, maybe yes, maybe no. I hope so, because I like bantering with him. I like bantering with him on a stream. I really do. And it turned out, like on my birthday, it turned out to be a lot of fun. But anyways, like no promises. And like I said, next week I am aiming next week to have both the videos, Amberlynn versus Eugenia and Amberlynn versus Nikocado. And if there are any video subjects and anybody else watching who is not chatting or catching this in the replay, if you've got video suggestions for me, please let me know in the comments section or hit me up on Twitter or on Discord or on Instagram. And I'll see what I can do. Like I said, no anti-apocalypse. We are not jumping off rooftops and doing skydiving. And no, I'm not covering the beauty community. But yeah, seriously, if you've got video topics, something you'd like to hear me talk about, by all means, hit me up, you know? So have a great night, everybody watching, and Green Gypsy Bird and Anti-Apocalypse, thank you for interacting in the chat and sticking around through the whole thing. Once again, let's welcome our latest Mad Hatter, Green Gypsy Bird. We are very glad to have you along for this ride. Everybody's mad here, and that's a wonderful thing. Okay, thanks, Fedora. Pours gasoline and lights fire. Anti-apocalypse. Now, who's going to keep you out of trouble now? Who's going to keep you out of trouble now, anti-apocalypse? That's funny. So, please take care of yourselves and each other. It's Christmas in a few days. A lot of people are alone. That makes at-risk and vulnerable people particularly vulnerable. So, please find the time. Please do try to do you all to find the time. If there's somebody at risk or vulnerable in your midst, give them a call this Christmas. Give them a call. Sometimes that could be the best Christmas gift you can give is a sympathetic ear. Okay? Yeah, nice anti-apocalypse. Yeah. So yeah, seriously, look in on them, give them a phone call, DM them if they got social media, text them. Okay? I love you all. And I will catch you all on the next one. Bye for now. And if I haven't heard you from Christmas, Merry Christmas, everybody, and I will definitely catch you. I have an Evel Knievel ideal in mind. I bet you do, anti-apocalypse. I bet you do.